Hey boys and girls, Ken Smith Fishing. So this is going to be part 2 of our Bass Cat tour. We only got 2 parts up there, but just beware, I'm going up for the dealer meeting in a couple of weeks. I know there's some new stuff coming out. I know there's some updates. I'm not sure how quickly they're going to let me post those videos, but as soon as I can, I will. So let's do a real quick spark drawing and stick around at the end of this video, and I'm going to update you on the Spark Big Bass and what can still be won this year with Spark Fishing. So let's draw a name right here. I'm gonna go in there, empty hand, empty hand. Let's just pull that name right there. And it is Brennan Fertig, F-E-R-T-I-G, in Belleville, Texas. I don't even know where Belleville, Texas is, but Brennan, congratulations, you're our Spark winner this week. Thanks for signing up either for Spark Energy or for joining Spark Fishing as affiliate. 250 bucks coming your way. Look for an envelope that'll say rewards. So let's check out our Bass Cat tour. Interesting here, we cover boxes, carpeting, rigging, but we also cover trailers, which I know a lot of guys are interested in. So check it out.
In our carpet area, you're going to get carpet in your boxes, your back deck, your cockpit, and your front deck. Lids won't go on at this point. They'll get carpeted as the boat shifts down our line there. But what you can see here is, again, just a prepped boat here with carpet on the front. This is they'll put in the padded deck obviously before they put the carpet on. But again, that 24-ounce carpet is just, it's the strongest in the industry, you know. This is an Era. They've carpeted the front box on this Era. You don't see this a lot. Usually this is just a finished box, but this customer opted to have it carpeted.
Oh, really?
Right, so they've carpeted that box.
Different strokes, different folks.
Right, right. Then you look back here again. Same accesses on an Era. The Era has areas back here. This is where we used to mount our power pull pumps, but now that we've got this access, we put the pumps there, and now a guy can take a waterproof toolbox and put it here. He can put a fire extinguisher there, right? So like a lot of guys like to have 2 fire extinguishers, one in the back and one up accessible in the front. That way they've got access.
Yep.
But again, this boat has been cut out and is now ready for carpet, and then it'll shift into our line and get a rub rail next, which we'll go look at rub rails.
Oh, a rub rail, okay.
But they start from the back, rivet this rub rail in all the way around. It's a one piece, that way there's no seams, okay? And then they get to the back, cap it, and then they put this insert in, right? So this is your rub rail insert, right?
And that's actually what I had fits with my one of my prior boats.
So like we talked about, they do rivets, and then when they can access it from the back, they'll put a through bolt with a nylon lock nut in. That way, you know, you have just compression. This is a Puma. You can see, you know, you got a bigger cooler step here. But again, just rub rail station. Once it reaches this area, it is then paired with a cart. So if you look back here, we've now paired this boat with a cart. So if I'm an employee working on this boat here,
that's all the parts.
All of my parts are in this cart. I've got a 6-foot walk to my parts instead of a 65-foot walk to warehouse, and then I have to find what I need. Everything's on these carts, and as these boats shift daily, the cart moves with the boat. You can see even your gas tanks haven't been put in yet. That's a service feature for us. So if you ever have to pull a tank out of a boat, you can pull it without cutting glass. It's all accessible. It's really amazing. The cart system helps people out tremendously. These are your live well screens.
And where does that sit?
This actually sits on the back of this box, on the back of your live well. So your recirc comes up, filters through your recirc, so that way if you've got a fish that's throwing up crawfish, shad, whatever it may be, it gets filtered out. Okay, so your Texas lakes, where you are, this has to get cleaned a lot more. Where I am on Bull Shoals and Norfolk, it doesn't have to get cleaned as much.
We get grass and everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dirtier water, right. So we're gonna make sure that our wiring harness is set up right, that it's clean when it's done, and it's accessible. So if you add electronics down the road, you're not fighting to get your electronics powered. It's easy with this. Again, they're double checking all the cutouts. They've put in speakers now for this boat. A ruler holder, you know, just the little odds and ends, grommets for your rod holders, just things are starting to get added at this point. Again, you can see now we've got gas tanks in, battery trays, and again, one of the service standpoints is all my pumps still accessible. Those filters we talked about earlier, right there on the backs of your live wells. So even if I don't have pumps, I can reach right down in there and get to those filters, okay? All my bilge pumps, all of my aeration, everything, my pump in, pump out, all these pumps are here. If you have a pump go bad, which happens, you're in and out 3 minutes.
Yep.
You're done. You don't have
I'll
to
buy
lift
a spare. Yeah,
you don't
there's
have
no
to
doubt.
lift a tray out.
Yeah.
None of that. You can see transom tie bars here. So we run a tie bar. We talk about the 6-bolt plate, right? You run a tie bar up here in the splash well, and if you look from the inside, you've got 2 tie bars on the back,
yeah.
right? So that's actually your 6-bolt pattern that sandwiches that jack plate, right? So we've got 2 here and then 4 down there, which we can't see obviously because it's on the inside of the boat. But that's how that 6-bolt pattern works, and that's how it's a stronger product, right? Rick talked about how
Also keeps your bolts from pulling into your glass.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
You'll
Because once
distribute
it
the
pulls
weight.
into this, it distributes it.
Distributes your weight, yep.
Exactly. Same thing with the tie bars on the inside.
And she's done this before?
About 1,000 times.
Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night? Oh, I'm boxing the lid, putting a lid on?
Well, yeah. That or training somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
It's a neat process.
Yeah.
Because you really have one shot at mounting a lid.
Yeah.
Because if it's wrong, you've got holes now.
So you mark it, you drill your holes, and then you pull your tape up, and you know you're in the right spot?
Yeah, I pin it. Let the tape down and mark my lid where I want to set it. Mark it. Dummy hinge, same size. Put a hole here and a hole here. I rip it down.
It's got to line up then, yep.
Don't put nothing else there. Check my gaps. If I like them, I mount them. I did finagle. I do a little finagling before I do it.
Right, yep,
So I put no extra holes in the boat that I have to.
right.
But it's amazing. And
Yeah.
again, dummy hinge is just used as a template. That way they can kind of.
Oh, that's not the actual
because
hinge.
all your hinges are pre-mounted to the lids.
Oh, I got you, okay.
Right. So that all happens in lid station. You know, you get carpet on your lids, your hinges get pre-mounted, and your latches get put in. That way, when lids come to here, all they have to do is put them on.
It's amazing how clean looking it gets all of a sudden.
Yes. So over here, we're gonna install. They're gonna pre-rig for a motor, so they're gonna put in your steering cables and everything, and then they're gonna put in a hot foot if the boat gets a hot foot. Right. So Roger will put in a hot foot here, and you can see him down there. Hi, Roger. So this is a Pantera Classic. This is a 19-foot 6-inch boat rated for a 200. I almost call it like a baby Lynx because it has some features of the Lynx. You know, your 2 compartments here, your big middle compartment, and then your wings, which is really nice because you can mount, you know, you can put your rods here and open your boxes and not worry about them going in the water. You know, it's all accessible.
Will a prop fit under there?
Yes, a prop should fit under there. I know on the Cougars and Eras it will. I haven't tried it with a Lynx yet. But again, you can see how accessible everything still is.
And I love those battery trays, that's brilliant.
And being able to take them off is phenomenal.
Dual fuel tanks, which I wanted real bad.
Well, you run one way and you switch, you know you've got enough to get back.
Or you got enough to get almost, golly, there's a lot of motors right there in a row.
It's amazing. It's
That's pretty dang
so he's
cool.
going to pick one right now, actually. It's an art.
That
It's
guy's
all
got to
art.
know what he's doing.
We
right
looked
there.
at that caracal in the mold over there. This is actually a finished caracal. You can see how wide this boat is. It's a great boat for a guy who wants a wide boat, but he needs to store it in a
Smaller
smaller
space,
area.
yep.
Right, 19.8 rated for a 225, still a low 70s boat. Okay, this thing's a rocket, and it's wide. You've got a net storage on the side over there with tool holder and ruler holder, everything. So you can see they're filling a patch here. So what they do is they're gonna go down this, hi David, they're gonna go down this with a light, and if they find any imperfection in this boat, they're gonna
tape it off.
They're gonna tape it off and refill it, right? And then once that's domed over, they're gonna come back in and wet sand it, and you're never gonna know that, you know. Our idea behind it is we don't wanna send out a boat that's not perfect. Our guys gonna take lights and go down these whenever they get them? Probably not. But we know that there's an imperfection, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna make everything right whenever we build this boat. Right, so you can see they take these lights and they go down them.
Holy cow, oh yeah.
And they check everything, right? So.
Yep.
Just part of the process, you know, it's all part of the process.
I'm still torn on this.
Do what? No, you're good on this one. That's just a little damn
I know,
box.
I'm still torn about whether I like that or not. I mean, I kind of like the idea of it.
It turns into...
So we talked about this in one of the videos.
Oh, the battery tender.
The battery tenders.
Oh my gosh, man, it is.
Once you have that, you need to swap out a trolling motor. It's all it is that. You're loosening it up, you pop the wires out, you're gone.
You're done with it.
And so the guys who need to, you know, the guys who fish big time carry a spare trolling motor. It makes, actually the longest thing then is just unplugging your transducers.
Right, and then all you have is just that detent. Once it locks in,
It's done.
clicks in, and it's never gonna pull out on
Nope.
accident.
That's
right?
awesome.
So that's the bread and butter of how that works.
Look how old guy can get up in his boat. Tricked. Tricked out. Man. I remember you get electronics in it. Jones Trolling Motor Boys, I'm coming to you. And go fishing. This is why a good welder will always have a job.
Well, they generally do.
They always do. But what you did smart from experience is the pin does not go through where your trailer wires go.
Right.
So you can't, because my stepson cut the trailer wires.
We had this in a half-cut moon, and we used to have a trailer wires coming through here. We changed that in later models where it drops out of the bottom right here and comes out. So if you pinch them now, you just screwed up.
Yep.
I can't help that. I've got a guy mad because he pinched his wires and doesn't think he should have. Well, I don't disagree with you, but
Yeah, it's to the side.
well,
So
it
this
comes
is what
out
you're
the
talking
bottom
about.
and
That
comes
dude
back
is-
in the bottom right here. See?
That's still warm from the weld.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's warm, probably warm from cutting.
How hard is this metal to get these days?
We've actually done fine with it on getting parts. This is, they actually cut this in 24-foot length for us. So it's a custom build. So they mill roll that for us. They don't mill roll, you know, general stick is 40 foot. So this is mill rolled at 24 just for us.
Because that's the length of the trailer every time.
Well, that gives us everything we need to build, and it cuts our scrap down.
so if
So
you need
20
to cut,
foot, I'd have 16 foot I need to do something with.
which is worthless,
Right.
unless you're building jet ski trailers.
Right. We just don't need 4-inch channel laying around 16 foot long. So it's all mill cut. There's where that heat came from.
Just did the step.
Yeah. It's
All
just
right.
heat transfer. This is cold roll that they bent. So that roller sits inside a 3/8 cold roll.
Yeah, this is what I keep seeing guys break, is this piece right here.
Well,
Not on your boat, on other boats.
we have some break, but they'll fatigue them because that's a boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I mean, you're hitting it with 3,000 pounds.
But we keep that angle on it, so we're not up like this. And that's another thing people don't estimate right. They just think that, well, I'll weld it, it's gonna be welded anyway. So if I stood it up like this, it'd fold it over. So you're doing it like this, which lets it all come in and hit.
How many trailers do you make?
We only build our stuff, so it's gonna be a number of units, but
So 7 or 8 different boats? Well, no, you got the Yarcrafts
we
too.
make several different models of trailers because you got single axle, tandem axles. You also got something we do pretty cool, and it's called an Airframe trailer. So if you've got narrow doors, we'll actually take the trailer down the width of the boat.
No, so you can just special order a narrower
Well, you
trailer.
can special order a drop back tongue, so you can drop back the hitch also, and we'll drop the tongue back as far as we can get it under the boat, so you got a short garage.
No idea.
Yeah, we'll do a custom on those. Those aren't hard. We just raise the boat up and narrow it up. Mm-hmm. They get it in there that way.
How much can you cut off the width of a trailer?
We can cut it all the way down the boat width.
So if you got a 94-inch beam, you can get a 94-inch trailer.
Yeah, we could cut it a lot more than that, but what's the point? Can't get the boat in the garage.
Right, yeah.
And another thing on our welded, you'll notice that it's tabbed. So the spindles are tabbed. So you've seen these welds break. Every one of ours is pin tabbed. So we drill them and pin tab them. So once they weld that spindle in there, because you take a standard spindle and weld it in. So basically, here's a standard rotor. And they weld that in and just weld it on the axle for like a Pantera Classic. Once they weld it on, it's set.
Why did you decide to build your own trailers? Did you always build them?
We started in '82. And the reason we started was availability. It was ready. We had a building sitting here at the time we didn't have anything going on in. So Dad welded the first ones and I painted them. So I did all the finish work, he did welding work. Once we got it all started, we hired a couple of welders and we had somebody else welding them and I painted them. Dad always had me.
Wondering.
Wheels, these are the 15-inch for General. All these are custom build. So they're made, this one's a mill finish and then that one's got the blackout. You get your Bass Sports the same way as you got. You got black Bass Sports, we do the other ones also.
Those are good looking.
So there's a big difference in the trailers, just point blank, all of the stuff, and we'll keep working on more.
So you've got up there small wheel, big wheel fenders?
The 15-inch is the standard
Yeah, and then the
raised
big
top,
wide ones?
and then the Euros are the other ones.
Yeah.
They're a little wider fit for the 18-inch.
Yep.
The 18s will really fit under there, but they don't really, it's close.
Yeah.
So,
And these are made here too?
yes, they're made when you build your boat, so all of them match. In the back corner of these, you're gonna notice that there's a serial number on these. All right?
Yeah.
So all those serial numbers match a boat
How we doing?
up in that top corner.
Yeah.
So those all match a boat. So each one of those will match a boat, and then here's the numbers down here to match the boat. So they don't have to look up there. And then any of these are probably aftermarket, so that's a replacement for somebody in the field probably.
What do you mean?
Somebody wrecked theirs, and they just got 2 new fenders coming.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So that's all aftermarket. Anything without a tag on it's an aftermarket.
All right.
Well, you got a quickie on trailers.
Yeah. No, we got tons
Here's
of
that
good
finished corner.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. So again, I'll be up there for the dealer meeting weekend after next. Got a lot of good stuff coming for you guys in the next couple of weeks, including some of that footage. For those of you who have not joined Spark Fishing, so remember, so we've paid out, I think we paid out, let's see, 4 divisions, 8, 16. So we paid out $32,000 through Bass Champs this year. That's not right. We paid out $38,000 through Bass Champs this year through the Spark program. There's another $5,000 at the championship on OH Ivy. To qualify for that money, you either need to move you or your partner, one of you need to move your energy provider to Spark, or just pay the $75 affiliation fee to join Spark Fishing, and that'll qualify you for that $5,000. I talked about this the other day. We paid $200 to fish for $2,000 in a tournament the other day in a little media tournament. So for this one, $75 adds an additional $5,000 to your pot, and that will be paid to the highest finishing Spark customer, no matter if it's first place or 58th place. So also don't forget, we have 9 lakes where we have a $2,000 bounty for the largest fish submitted to ShareLunker out of those 9 lakes for a Spark Fishing affiliate member or a Spark customer. Right now, only 2 of those, so you only got to catch an 8-pounder to get it in ShareLunker. Right now, only 2 fish have qualified for that. My 10.5 on Rayburn, and doggone it, I've forgotten his name, but I'll post it right below. We've got I may not know that name yet, but we've got a guy who has submitted a fish and been approved through ShareLunker for Amstead, and I think it was a 9 something. I'll put whatever details I have on there at the bottom of the page there. So 7 lakes, there's not even anybody that submitted a fish to win that $2,000, and somebody's going to win that $2,000. The lakes are Rayburn, Toledo, Cedar Creek, Texoma, Ray Roberts, Falcon, Amstead, Conroe. I'm forgetting one. I'll post it right there. I can't remember what the other one is, but those 9 lakes. So again, it's a $75, or just move your energy provider to Spark Energy and you're qualified for that. You win $250 if you submit a fish to ShareLunker and it's approved. If it's an 8+, if it's a 10+, it's $500. If it's a 13+, it's $1,000. If you submit an 8 and later submit a 10, we'll pay you the difference from the 8 to the 10. So you can win 250 and then another 250. And then of course we got those 9 lakes. And by the way, remember, that doesn't have to be during a tournament. That can be any time. It's just got to be certified by ShareLocker. It's got to be approved by them. And then the 9 lakes, again, doesn't have to be in a tournament, can be any time. Somebody's going to win that money. So don't miss your opportunity to take advantage of that. A link to the Spark website is down below in the description. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice. We got a little summer colds running through our house right now. But thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week here on Ken Smith Fishing.